LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's clear up the world view. Sydney LGBTQ venue closes after landlord orders it stop offensive trade. A new LGBTQ pop-up venue in Sydney has closed after its landlord ordered it to stop operating what it described as offensive trade, or risk eviction. The venue, Divine Playhouse, has opened inside a former church that was deconsecrated nearly a century ago and has operated as a theater for decades. The closure followed protests by about 70 people from Catholic and other Christian groups over performances and promotional material they said mocked Christian symbols. Organizers said they had already made changes before opening and emphasized that the venue was intended as a space for artistic expression, not to offend. Heaps Gay, which leases the building, said it is exploring legal options while prioritizing the safety of artists, audiences, and staff. Sydney officials and art advocates criticized the closure, arguing that creative spaces are vital to the city's cultural life and that peaceful protest should not prevent LGBTQ communities from accessing safe and inclusive venues. Well, yeah, I think it's not going to surprise any of you that this card-carrying DSA member says, "Screw landlords! How dare they? First of all, the moment you rent something, you have certain rights to use the space. That's not just at most places. Like, so when a landlord tries to tell you not to do something, unless you're like destroying the building, chances are you can tell them to F off. But like, this is just absurd. Like, leave them be. And like, well, you got 70 whole people to your protest. To be like, what? Like, did they get the Crotchety Society of Sydney to this event? Like, who the heck cares? My God.
I'm going to keep this a 1 minute news because I can list the millions of churches that have been changed over to something else that would go against Scripture. But I want people to learn their Scripture, especially if they're going to use it. You realize that churches are against Scripture anyway, that you're not supposed to build temples and icons to Jesus your Lord. And he says that straight in the Bible. So learn your own Scripture before you go throwing it at other people.
Anything before I close this out?
Sydney is a lovely city. It's a shame we won't get to see this venue if I go back.
Right. Well, before I close that, I'm going to push back on the Catholic Church for one quick second. They're not really ones to talk after what they did to the Pantheon. Should I get some pagans to go protest Rome sometime? And that is an LGBTQ 1 Minute News Story. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.